The movie opens with two children, Snow and Tigress, cousins in search of food. A dog spots them and starts barking. They quickly hide behind a pillar when they hear footsteps. They witness a man cutting a dead human, driven by hunger. They reach home where their grandma tells them their father is dead. Years later, Snow is bathing, preparing for the plinth prize he won. Tigress enters with a shirt she made for him. She praises him as he puts it on, calling him the president of Panem. Tigress calls for their grandma to see how handsome he looks. Snow heads to the award hall where he sees Clemmy. They hold hands as she tells him not to forget her while he collects his award, as they were partners. Sejanus Plinth, Snow's best friend, tells him that his father isn't giving any price. Dr. Gall, the head of Game Maker, gave her speech and welcomed Dean Casca, the pioneer of the Hunger Games. He states that instead of the award to the student with grades, which is the Plinth Prize, there would be the Hunger Games, where two children from each district would be sent to the Capitol arena to fight till death. He further states that the best mentor in the Hunger Games would be given a price. In other words, the students from Capitol assigned to the children from the districts, and anyone caught cheating would have no future at all. He assigns the children, also known as tributes, from the districts to the students. When it got to Snow's turn, he assigned him with Lucy, a hungry girl from District 12 that sings. All these points to the fact the dean really hates Snow. He talks to Snow after the event, downgrading him for being poor. He tells Snow that he and his father were once best of friends. Snow heads to the train station where the tributes are being dropped off and meets his assigned tribute, Lucy. He gives her a rose, trying to engage her in conversation, but she isn't very friendly. As Snow jumps into the van with the children from the district, they threaten him. Lucy steps in and pulls them off him. They are then taken to the zoo, and Snow is locked inside along with the tributes. During an interview, both Snow and Lucy speak to the press. As Snow is being escorted out of the zoo, Lucy begs him to get food for her and her friend. Back at the academy, Snow is reprimanded by the dean for his actions at the zoo, who even threatens to disqualify him. Dr. Gall intervenes, questioning Snow about the purpose of the Hunger Games. Snow responds that it's meant to punish the districts for their uprising. Dr. Gall then asks, why didn't we just bomb them or stop food shipments? Sejanus steps in, arguing that since the Capitol won the war 10 years ago, they should now be providing better governance, not punishing innocent children. Snow adds that for the Hunger Games to attract an audience, the tributes need to be treated like human beings. He suggests that getting the tributes closer to the Capitol students would make people more invested in the games, giving them someone to root for or against. Dr. Gall turns Snow's idea into an assignment, asking the students to write their own proposals. Later, during lunch, Sejanus confides in Snow, telling him how his father purchased his best friend as a tribute when Sejanus was just 2 years old. Despite the uncomfortable history, Sejanus continues to visit the arena, bringing food for Marcus, his assigned tribute. However, Marcus refuses to speak or acknowledge him. Snow brings food to Lucy and she shares it with her friend Jessup. When Snow asks about Jessup's injured neck, Lucy explains that he was attacked by a bat while staying awake to protect her. Snow then suggests a strategy to help Lucy win. If she sings, it could help her gain favor with the audience, leading the game makers to send her food and water in the arena. He promises to make recommendations to help her. After completing his assignment, Snow submits it. The dean later announces that Dr. Gall wants the students to visit the arena alongside their tributes and discuss strategies for the games. Snow continues to persuade Lucy to sing, believing it will boost her chances. Later, Snow and Clemmy meet with Dr. Gall, who shows off her new experiments and asks who wrote the proposal. Clemmy, wanting to take credit, jumps in and claims it was her idea, inspired by Snow. Dr. Gall then asks Clemmy to retrieve the proposal from a snake's den, saying the snakes will recognize her sweat if she's telling the truth. Clemmy attempts to retrieve the paper but is bitten by the snakes. Snow joins the other students for the tour of the arena. As they move around, the lights suddenly come on, followed by a massive explosion that brings the entire building down. Amid the chaos, a large iron beam falls on Snow as he tries to escape. Lucy attempts to help him, but the guards quickly pull her away. Snow wakes up in a hospital bed with Tigress and Sejanus by his side. Sejanus explains that the explosion was a rebel bombing orchestrated by the tributes over several months, and 4 of the tributes were killed. He also tells Snow that his tribute, Marcus, managed to escape and is now on the run. Sejanus' brother is also in the hospital, injured in the bombing. Later, they see Lucy on TV singing as Snow had advised her. That night, Snow sneaks into the destroyed arena to survey the damage, studying it carefully. Afterward, he goes to the zoo where Lucy is being held to give her advice for the upcoming games. He tells her that once she hears the bell, she should find a hole under the arena and hide there until the fighting dies down. Lucy, terrified of what's to come, begins to cry. Snow gently wipes away her tears with his handkerchief and gives her a vial of powder, explaining that if she consumes or inhales it, she will die instantly. A last resort if things go wrong. As they talk, Snow asks if the song she sang earlier had personal meaning. Lucy shares that her boyfriend had cheated on her with the mayor's daughter, who then had her name added to the reaping list out of spite. The morning of the games, Snow hugs Tigress and his grandmother before heading to the event. The hall is packed with people. Snow takes a picture with Sejanus and then moves to his seat. The presenter begins with formal introductions, announcing that if a tribute dies, their mentor should leave the hall. The tributes are brought to the arena, each standing in their designated spot waiting for the bell to ring. Marcus is seen hanging lifelessly on the broken wall of the arena. Much to Sejanus' horror, he storms out of the hall in anger and grief. The bell rings, signaling the start of the Hunger Games. Lucy frantically searches for Jessup amidst the chaos. She eventually finds him and manages to carry him to the hole Snow had mentioned. Together they make it to the tunnel, with 13 tributes still alive. Meanwhile, Lamina, one of the remaining tributes, emerges from her hiding spot. She climbs the broken wall where Marcus is hanging and slits his throat before cutting him down from his bonds. The Dean confronts Snow again, warning him that even if Lucy wins the Hunger Games, he will make sure Snow doesn't get the prize. Afterward, Snow falls asleep only to be woken up by Dr. Gall. She instructs him to save Marcus, revealing that Sejanus bribed someone to sneak into the arena. She promises to whisper Snow's name to Sejanus' father in gratitude if he saves his son. To aid Snow, she freezes the cameras, ensuring that they won't capture his actions inside the arena. Snow enters the arena and finds Sejanus. He tries to persuade him to leave, but Sejanus refuses. Snow tells him that the only way to change the world is by staying alive. As they talk, a tribute approaches them. Snow manages to kill the tribute, though he gets scratched in the process. Afterward, he heads to Dr. Gall, who stitches up his wound. When Snow returns home, he talks to Tigress, confessing that he killed a tribute. At first he felt horrible about it, but later he felt powerful. Tigress reassures him, telling him that he's a good person and that he can still do good. The following morning they attend the Hunger Games event. The presenter announces that Bobbin was killed during the night. Meanwhile, Jessup begins to act erratically due to the bat bite, chasing Lucy out of their hiding place. Snow cleverly manipulates Lucy into sending water to her tribute. When the drone arrives, it hits Jessup, killing him instantly. Other tributes arrive and surround Lucy, but Snow quickly sends 9 drones carrying water, creating a distraction and chaos. Lucy seizes one of the bottles and hides. While the tributes are distracted by Lamina, Lucy secretly pours the poison Snow gave her into one of the water bottles and empties the remaining bottles. The tributes finally kill Lamina and begin chasing after Lucy, but she manages to hide inside a tunnel again. Dill approaches the poisoned water, and Lucy watches in pity as Dill drinks it. Moments later, Dill collapses and dies, coughing violently. Another tribute approaches Dill, only to find her lifeless. The tribute then stacks the dead bodies and uses the Capitol flag to cover them. Suddenly, Dr. Gall interrupts the game, announcing the death of the president's son, who was killed in the bombing. She ominously declares that there will be a rainbow of destruction in the arena, even if it means there will be no victor. Snow, recalling the snakes, leaves the hall and reopens the wound Dr. Gall had stitched. He goes to see her again for help and notices her assistants preparing the rainbow-colored snakes. While they are distracted, he slyly slips the handkerchief he used to wipe Lucy's tears into the snake tank. Meanwhile, Lucy pours the remaining powder down onto Treach, who collapses. Coral, seeing this, makes Lucy fall out of the hole. Coral chases Lucy, but they stop when they see a helicopter dropping the tank of snakes. Wovie approaches as the tank cracks open and is quickly consumed by the snakes. The rest follow, attacking Coral, leaving Lucy standing alone. Snow tells the presenter that Lucy has won and they should let her out. But the presenter responds that it's up to Dr. Gall. As the snakes draw closer, Lucy begins to sing, and the crowd grows anxious. Snow insists to Dr. Gall that Lucy has won, but she remains silent. A student wonders aloud why the snakes aren't attacking Lucy, and Snow suggests it might be her singing. Lucy continues to sing as the snakes surround her and the crowd begins chanting for her release. She raises her hand, urging the crowd to quiet down, and her calm demeanor earns her cheers from the students. Snow is congratulated by his peers and receives praise for his mentorship. Later, Snow embraces Tigress before heading to the arena to find Lucy. However, instead of a celebration, he finds the materials that reveal his cheating. The dean confronts him, explaining that the president left Snow's punishment in his hands. As punishment, Snow is banished for 20 years as a peacekeeper to District 8. Snow, not willing to accept this fate, bribes the woman in charge of allocations to send him to District 12 instead. He boards the train where Sejanus joins him. Sejanus tells Snow that he ran to the train as soon as he learned where Snow was going, and reveals that he never learned what Snow had done. Snow admits that he cheated. Upon arriving in District 12, they are given an orientation and are instructed to report any suspicious activity. Snow attends a local night show and is shocked to see Lucy performing there. Her expression changes the moment she notices him. As tension rises, chaos erupts when Billy, Lucy's ex, begins causing trouble. Snow and Sejanus rush outside, escaping the commotion. The next day, Snow finds Lucy singing under a tree. He approaches her, saying he thought she had died and explaining that's why he arranged to be sent to her district. They share a tender kiss, and Lucy asks him to meet her at the lake the following day. Later, Snow sees Sejanus speaking with the rebels and warns him about the danger of associating with them, stressing the consequences they could both face. Despite his warnings, Snow joins Lucy at the lake the next day, where her cousins are also present. They share a romantic moment, and Snow gifts her his mother's scarf. During their conversation, Snow asks if she misses Billy, but Lucy replies no, that she doesn't trust him. Snow is soon summoned by Commander Hoff, who commends his excellent grades. When asked why he ended up in District 12, Snow explains he made an enemy in the capital. Hoff offers him an opportunity to earn a real wage by transferring him to District 2 in 10 days, providing Snow with a promising future. Snow discusses the situation with Tigris, who tells him they were evicted from their apartment, but they still managed to have a good time despite their circumstances. Later, Snow and Sejanus are delivering messages, when Snow subtly brings up the rebels in conversation and secretly records Sejanus confessing to helping them. He sends the incriminating message to Dr. Gall. Meanwhile, Lucy sings a song she wrote about Snow, and as he listens, he spots Sejanus entering a room. Curious, Snow follows him and confronts Sejanus about the guns he sees. Sejanus admits that the rebels had lied to him. As tension escalates, Lucy unexpectedly arrives, surprised by the situation. Things become more intense when the mayor's daughter, aware of their escape plan, threatens to tell her father. In a panic, Snow shoots her in the heat of the moment. As Lucy is shocked and scared, Snow tries to calm her down, but the atmosphere remains tense. Suddenly, Spruce kills Billy, heightening the danger. Snow reassures Lucy once more, trying to keep her composed amidst the chaos. Snow urges Sejanus to pull himself together and stop crying, promising to keep him safe. The next day, Hoff summons the peacekeepers, instructing them to find the murderers of the mayor's daughter and her boyfriend. While they search for the gun that killed them, Snow spots Lucy. She tells him she plans to leave town, fearing that the mayor will think she's responsible for the murders. Snow asks to join her, knowing that he'll be hung if they discover he was involved. During the search, they capture Spruce, dragging him toward the hanging tree. Hoff summons Sejanus and plays the recording of him discussing the escape plan with Snow. The tension escalates as Sejanus and the others are hung. Snow, heartbroken, rummages through Sejanus's belongings and finds the picture they took together, intensifying his sorrow. He makes his way to the hanging tree where Lucy awaits him. They set off on a journey north, away from the districts. Upon reaching a cabin, Snow checks the floorboards for fishing rods and stumbles upon guns, including the one he fired at the mayor's daughter. Lucy urges him to destroy the gun, insisting it will free him. He smiles and responds, "No more loose ends." Lucy then jokingly says, "Except me," realizing too late how that sounds. She expresses a desire to dig up plants, but Snow reminds her it's raining. Still, she insists, causing him to distrust her motives. Searching for Lucy, Snow finds the scarf he gifted her, but a snake bites his hand when he tries to take it. He yells in pain, overwhelmed with emotion, as he smells the scarf and sobs. In a fit of anger and confusion, he begins to shoot randomly in the forest, convinced he hears Lucy singing and playing tricks on his mind. Afterward, he discards the gun and heads back to District 12, determined to pick up the important items from Sejanus's box. At the rain station, he meets Hoff, who informs him of a change in plans. Snow then arrives at Dr. Gall's lab, where she congratulates him. She tells him she convinced the president to grant him a full pardon, allowing him to study under her at the university, with the president covering all expenses. She said the president praises him for being a good friend to Sejanus. She also mentioned she didn't tell him about the recording. She thanks him as well for his proposal because people watched. Dr. Gall then poses a question about the purpose of the Hunger Games, to which Snow replies that the whole world is an arena, and the Hunger Games remind people of their true nature. Snow is seen preparing for classes, and his grandmother compliments him, while his sister notes that he looks just like their father. Snow visits the dean and hands over Sejanus's belongings, which contain the poisoned morphine. The dean comments that Snow has grown a heart during his time in the district. Snow replies that it's thanks to the Hunger Games, and the dean tells him he should actually thank his father for that. The dean then reveals that the idea for the Hunger Games was originally his. He explains that Dr. Gall once gave them an assignment to devise a way to punish their enemies. When he came up with the concept, he later regretted it and wanted to destroy it. However, Snow's father stole the idea, placing both their names on it and presenting it to Dr. Gall. The dean tried to stop it, but he couldn't, so he turned to morphine to cope with his guilt. As Snow leaves, the dean drinks the poison morphine, leading to his death. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notification. You'll be the first to catch all the latest uploads. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.